Hello and welcome back to Hop to the Top on Football Manager 2020. Of course, today Season 4 properly kicks off as we take on Dynamo Kyiv in the Champions League second qualifying round. Both legs come up today with Basel wedged in the middle as well for good measure. Hopefully, it's going to be better than the previous two episodes. Also, just want to say thank you for your continued support on this series. It's phenomenal. Thank you so much. We've not set a likes target for some time, and considering it's kind of the first episode of a new season, I want to set a target of 350 likes on today's video. If we can do that, you're all legends. If we focus a little bit more on last episode specifically, that was the transfer special where not many transfers happened, unfortunately. There have been one or two coming through, but it's still not been brilliant for us. So before we get into today's game and sort of talk about the team a little bit, I'll just sort of mention the transfers that have happened since you were last here. There have been a few of them. So last episode you saw from Sean Howard down to Sosa coming into the club. Since then, 3 players have joined. Jake Allen is the first one on loan from Bournemouth, a right winger. So if we want to go for the winger formation this season, we've got him to use on that right-hand side of the pitch. But I think we're going to stick with the diamond for now. I think the diamond is the way to go this season. On the left wing, we have got some chap called Leon. He came in. We bought him for £34,000. He's okay. He's not the best, but actually we've got someone better to use instead of him. So actually he could have been a bit of a waste of money. And finally, Martin Neto comes in from Benfica on loan. He's a central midfielder to sort of help bolster that area just in case we get injuries or we need to rotate things. So another midfielder there. We are lacking a little bit in some positions, notably right back, definitely. We need to probably improve there a little bit. There's still time to buy players, of course, but the season is now underway and we've got to get going. Now, we have already played one game this season and it was the opening game of the season. It was a 1-1 draw with Young Boys. I mean, if only we could have drawn with them on the last episode of last season. That would have been perfect. We'd have won the title if that was the case. Unfortunately, we couldn't draw them, but we could draw this time. They scored a penalty 7 minutes in, but Alex Smith scored a bit of a wonder goal, if I'm honest with you. We'll watch it because it's really good. As you can see, he picks the ball up from the end of their corner and just literally runs the whole length of the pitch, gets past all the defenders and puts it in the bottom corner. It was a very, very good goal. So we start the season off not with a loss, which we kind of thought was going to be happening given the state of how poor our transfer window was. Also want to say a massive thank you to our latest Patreon, Tim Wright. Thank you very much for your donation. Massively appreciated. If you want to get involved with Patreon, link on top of the screen right now or in the description. Tim, though, you picked a regen that you wanted to have named after you, and it's a regen that's gone under the radar, but I think we're actually going to end up using him quite a bit this season. Julian Kahn came through the youth ranks a couple seasons ago, and I don't think he had that good potential, but suddenly, out of nowhere, he's suddenly got 4.5-star potential. He's 18 years old, 2.5-star current ability, plays on the left wing. He's the best left winger we've actually got. So I think we're probably going to be using Julian Kahn quite a bit this season. But of course, he's not Julian Kahn anymore. We're only going to know him as Tim Wright, the wonder kid on that left-hand side of the pitch. If only your real name was Jeremy Corbyn, that could have been perfect. We had another Patreon come through as well. He told me not to give him a shout-out, but Tyson, I appreciate it. Thank you ever so much for your donations. So it's time to get into the nitty-gritty of today's episode. We'll talk about expectations first. Now, the board came out and they actually said to us, first of all, we want you to avoid relegation. And it's like we came third and second. I think we can do a bit more than avoid relegation. So we said we're going to qualify for the Europa Cup too. So we've got to finish in the top 5 to do that. I think we are capable of doing that. Despite the lack of transfers, I think we're capable of doing that. In terms of the Champions League, they want us to reach the playoffs, which is the final qualifying round. But that's going to be easier said than done. Swiss Cup is the standard reach quarterfinals. We should be able to do that after reaching the final last year. But we need to talk about the Champions League and how it works at the moment. So, if we look at the stages, we want to look at rules is what we want to look at. So we've come in here, all right? We're in the second qualifying round, best placed team. If we didn't win the league, so we're not in that Champions one. So we're here. If we win it, we go to the third qualifying round, win that, go to the playoffs, win that, group stages. So still quite a way off getting to the group stages. The thing is, if we lose this, it says losers qualify for the third qualifying round. I assume that's for the Europa League. So we'll drop down into the Europa League. And if that happens, we'll go in that third qualifying round for the Europa League, win that, so on and so forth. You know what I'm trying to say? I think if we get to the Europa League third qualifying round, lose that, we go into the fourth qualifying round for the Europa Conference League 2, which we were in last season. So we've pretty much got quite a few chances to qualify for the group stages of a European competition. So the minimum expectation for me is to get to the group stage of one of them, but ideally, obviously, it would be the Champions League. But that's going to be easier said than done because Dynamo Kyiv are a very good side. And because we couldn't really sign any wingers and we didn't get great ones coming in, we've got some good ones we can use, but I think this season, the best formation we can use is the Diamonds. So we're going to stick with it. We drew 1-1 with Young Boys with it, so it can't be that bad. So hopefully today it will be okay, as Fruchtel stays in goal with a backline of Boone, Augusto, Gonzalo coming back into the side, obviously after being out for a year. Obviously, we got him on loan, actually, so he's not really been out for a year. We just didn't want to come back last season, but has come back this year. He's on the right-hand side with Bien Kone. Sosa, the new guy in that CDM position, with Illich and Schneider in that centre midfield partnership. Alex Smith in the attacking playmaker position. Coley as a pressing forward. And new chap Molnar on loan from Benfica is the advanced forward, because Yuan is currently a little bit injured. Because of the lack of signings over summer as well, we are bringing on a few youth prospects on the bench. So we'll start off, I suppose, Patrick Hartman. We've seen him before. 4-star potential striker, 1.5-star current ability. But he's a player that I think we could start to integrate into the first team this season. Got really good finishing, 16 finishing. So he's got to be useful off the bench, I reckon. Obviously, we spoke about Tim Wright earlier on. Looks like a very, very good winger. He can be joined on the wing with Jake Allen as well. So we can move to the wing formation like we used to do last season a little bit. Start with a diamond, move to the wings later on. That's something we can look to do. We've also got this guy that I just can't pronounce. Only 3.5-star current ability, or potential ability, sorry, but is a midfielder with some different roles and duties to what we usually use. So that's probably a little bit handy to have him around on the bench. Only 17 years old though, so still got quite a lot of development to do. And Callum Brennan, of course, centre-back. 17 years old, 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. We need to start working him into the side this season to get him to realise that potential ability. So hopefully we're going to see a lot of good regens coming through. This is the time for them to shine, because obviously this season is, well, we need them. We need them to shine, basically. Now, in what is probably the weirdest transfer in all of Football Manager, playing for Dynamo Kyiv on the left wing is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I don't quite know how they've got him for £11 million from Arsenal. I mean, I don't know why Arsenal are letting him go. He's 33, I suppose. That's a little bit old, but surely he can still put a shift in. This is the type of team we're coming up against today. We're coming up against a team with Aubameyang in their lineup. So Kiev, it's going to be a miracle if we beat them, really. Obviously, the diamond means we play a lot more narrow, which is something we need to be careful about. Although Schneider, with a free kick early on, puts it in towards Gonzalo. Augusto gets there at the far post, but I think it's called offside. It is disallowed for offside. It looked like it to me, unfortunately. Kiev, though, are coming back at us down the middle of the pitch, putting it out towards Gonzalez on that right-hand side of the pitch for them attacking-wise. They look to put the cross in, play it back to their wing-back instead, who's under pressure, but he just gets the ball in, and Fruchtel ends up making a comfortable save from a very, very poor cross. And can we counter-attack this? The quicker we get a goal, the better. And as long as we don't concede today. Now, we're at home, confusingly, despite us playing in the black kit. We are at home as Coley's been put forward. Coley can't quite get the opening goal of the game. But as I was saying, as long as we don't concede any away goals today, I think we can go to Kiev in relatively high spirits, I would say, as Aubameyang gets the tackle and looking to come forward, gets the ball up to his strike partner, but Gonzalo gets there instead, who puts it up towards Molnar, who looks like he's coming forward, gets tackled, but Alex Smith puts it into Coley. Coley! Oh, again, keeper making an important save. We've got a corner very soon afterwards, and it's cleared, but only as far as Augusto plays it back towards Schneider. Schneider into the middle. Coley finally gets it in the back of the net. Third time of asking, his first of the season. You love to see it. And we go 1-0 up against Dynamo Kyiv in the second qualifying round of a Champions. Imagine us. I would not expect us to be anywhere near the Champions League by season 4, let alone like in contention for a group stage place of a champion. I mean, we're only in the second qualifying round. We're 20 minutes into the first leg. We're 1-0 up. I'm already contemplating us being in a group stage. A long way to go. Let's probably not think about that yet, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting excited. I hope you are too. We arrive at half-time, though, 1-0 up, which is superb. And again, as long as we don't concede to Kiev at home, we've got to be the team favourites to go through to third qualifying round, surely. Obviously, it's a different story away from home. Obviously, Kiev could smash us at their place. But I think we have enough about us to not get smashed at their place. And I think if we get the win against Kiev today, they'll be very nervous as yellow card. Biancone, honestly, he's a yellow card magnet and clearly a red card one too. In case you're interested, it was pointed out in the comment section last time and I realised how bad it actually was. He got 16 yellow cards last season. 16. And so far this season, he's got 2 and a red card, technically, hasn't he? So that's not good going. We've got a man sent off. We need to sort of sit back now, I think, and sort of try and win the game. That's kind of what we've got to do. So Molnar's got a yellow card, so we're going to take him off the pitch, sacrifice him, and Callum Brennan is going to come on, this could be his debut, Callum Brennan. Is it his debut? It's his first team debut. Oh, no, it's not quite. He played one continental game last season for us at some point. Got a 7.1 rating, fair play. But he's making a big appearance today. He's going to be a big part of this season. So Callum Brennan, please do well. All we have to do is hold on. We need to probably go back to cautious, probably. That's probably the best thing to do rather than stay on positive. Just go to cautious, calm things down a little bit. Let's not get carried. If we can grab a goal, that'd be even better as well. As Alex Smith gets into Illich, Boone to put a cross into the middle. He can't get it into the middle, and here come Kyiv on the counter-attack. Number 18 on the ball, tackled by Sosa, who's on a yellow card. I think we need to be careful of that as well as Coley coming forward with the ball. He's through. Coley, come on, round the keeper. What a fantastic goal that is. And despite going down to 10 men, we've brought it back and we've got another goal. 2-0 to Grasshoppers. He just took the ball around the keeper brilliantly then. And what a header from Alex Smith. Great assist for him as well. He just dummies the keeper there. The keeper doesn't know what he's doing. Coley goes around him, back of the net. Okay, so I think we'll probably drop down to defensive now even, just so we can really try and settle down, not concede any goals. We might make a change in a minute as well, just to stop someone else getting sent off. Oh, for God's sake, Alex Smith of all people as well. Straight red card as well. Apparently a shocking tackle. Okay, right. Well, at this stage of the game, we don't need any more goals. So Bozanovic on for Coley to just sit in defence. Do not concede an away goal. If we end up winning this with only 9 men on the pitch as well, that is good going, to be fair. If we can even grab another goal. I mean, Callum Brennan, our right back, is now the most advanced player on the pitch as it stands right now. He's tackled. Is this going to be another red card? Is this going to be another red card? This game's mental if that's the case. Another red card. Another one. I mean, it makes it slightly easier for us, I suppose, doesn't it? But that is absolutely crazy. Now, I think Alex Smith could now miss 3 games in the Champions League for a straight red card. A straight red card in the Swiss Super League is only a 1-game ban for some reason, not like a 3-game one in the UK. But I think Champions League for a straight red is 3 games. We'll have to see in a second. But a 2-0 win over Kyiv. We've got a couple of days off then until the Basel game, who won their opening game of the season quite empathetically. So they're already top of the table after 1 game. If we don't lose to them, we could be on for a good season, and something's about to get even better for us. We had a few bids in for some players, and this is one of them. Felipe Cruz coming in on loan from Benfica, another Benfica player. But importantly, he's a right back. We had to improve that right back position. Now, as much as we love Biancone, he's just not quite the level we thought he was ever going to reach. So Felipe Cruz coming in is good. However, he can't play in the Champions League game against Kyiv because he's come in sort of in between squad selections. What am I trying to say? No, I think squad selection is the right one. I think squad selection is the right thing. Unfortunately, though, we have missed out permanently on a right back. You might remember Jack Scott from last episode. From Wolverhampton Wanderers, we got a bid in for him, but obviously decided to go to Fulham in the Premier League instead. But at least we've got Cruz in instead, so we have got at least a good right back coming in, which is good. Right, Tim writes, you've been in you've not even a first team appearance yet, and yet you're demanding a new contract. And the thing is, it's because people have been putting some bids in for you. That's actually why. But you're demanding a new contract. The thing is, I'm going to say yes to you wanting a new contract. You want a lot of money, I believe. That's not too bad. It said 1.2k a minute ago. We can have £600 a week. That's fine. We'll get rid of these yearly wage rises or whatever it is. But I don't like those. Only substitute fee can go as well. But everything else I'm happy with. Suggest those. Okay, now his cross is in the orange now. After 5 international appearances, 1.4k per week. I assume that's senior team appearances, not youth teams. So that's fine. I'll give you £900 a week. Mate, you're worth it. Especially because we need you this season. We definitely need you. Oh, okay. Stoke making a big offer for Nicholas Steffen, who is a goalkeeper that we brought in. And he's a good goalkeeper. Okay. We brought him for £4,000. But if we can sell him for that much money, that's big, isn't it? Now, he is going to be a good keeper in the future. However, we've got Keller, all right? Keller is going to be as good as him in the future. We've also got Hunter Ball, who is going to be even better, all right? Hunter Ball's unlucky because the fact we've got such good goalkeepers in the squad already, he's kind of unlucky, but he will get his first team chance soon. But we've got quite a few decent goalkeepers. So I think it's probably worth rejecting this offer, okay? But then transfer, offer to clubs, $1 million? 2.5 million. Let's offer him up for 2.5 million. See if someone wants him there. St. Pauli have come in with an offer of 1.4 million. Can we negotiate this up to about £2 million, please? Suggest... Okay. Well, Nicholas Stefan, we signed you for £4,000. We actually had plans to use you, but if you can make us profit instead, £2 million is good for me, so off you go. Watford, though, making a £2.6 million bid for Yuan. Now, this is the thing, okay? This is the thing. We bought Yuan for 220k last season. And he did well, but not as well as we expected. Coley did better, okay? So, obviously, I'm going to start Coley this season. We've got a guy in on loan from Benfica, and we've also got some good youngsters coming through. Do we raise this offer? I think we do. So they're offering 2 million up front and then 600,000 in instalments. Okay. Let's take this up to £1 million in instalments. Take this up to 4.5 million. Suggest those terms. They've come back down 2.6 up front, 775 in the future. Now let's put this up to £1 million, and we said 4.5. Let's go for 4 million. Let's negotiate this. They've accepted that. Yuan going for £4 million, rising to 5 million. Well, 5 million pretty much anyway. You know what? He's not a player that I kind of want to let go, but he didn't impress me as much as I thought he was going to do last season. He got 22 goals last season, though. He's not going to get any better, really. 23 years old. He'll get a little bit better, but he's not going to rapidly improve, all right? And if we're honest with ourselves, we've got more natural strikers coming through. Obviously, they're not as good yet because they're not all there mentally or technically, but we've got strikers coming through who have already got better dribbling, finishing, first touch. So, I think we cash in. I don't think we're going to get a better offer. And as much as I don't kind of want to let him go, £5 million is a good amount of money. The whole point of this is to bring youth players. I've accepted it now, haven't I? The whole point of this is to bring some good youth players through, and he's already set to sign straight away. Okay. See you later, Yuan. Before I do it, let me explain before we do it. Let me explain. Okay, so the whole point of this is to bring youth players through. We've got some youth players that will be better than him in 2 or 3 seasons' time. We've got 2 strikers that arguably are better. Coley scored more goals last season. Molnar, who's come in this season on loan, is supposedly meant to be better than both Yuan and Coley. We've got backup strikers and youth players that we can start to use and experiment with. I think £5 million is a good deal. So we're accepting this. You might not agree with me as Baba goes out on loan as well. Again, a player that we don't need, but no one wants him permanently. So we've got to get him out on loan to save some money. But Yuan has gone. 5 mil to Watford, who are in the Premier League still, are they? In the Premier League still. So this episode is suddenly a lot longer than I was anticipating it to be because we've had to make 2, well, we haven't had to make 2 sales, but we have made 2 sales to bring in £7 million. That's paid for the youth system and the train facilities that are being done at the moment. So we've paid for those with 2 transfers. I think this is good moves, good money. So finally, at the Basel game now, we do have to make a couple changes because a few players are looking tired. Sosa is the main one looking tired. So we're going to bring new signing on Siet Tunis. He can play CDM a little bit. So we're going to bring him on in that CDM position to give old Sosa a rest. But we don't want to weaken the squad too much because obviously we need them. Biancone can't play the Champions League game because he's suspended, obviously. But we need to get Felipe Cruz on the pitch, although you can probably start him on the bench, actually, I would say, instead, just because he's got no match sharpness. The same with Neto. He couldn't play in the Champions League game because, again, he came too late to be registered for the second qualifying round. So we can bring Neto on the bench instead of our other young chap. But other than that, I don't really want to make too many changes to the starting lineup, I don't think. So we'll leave it like that because it's Basel. We've got to do our best against Basel. So then, kickoff is upon us for the first league game on camera this season. We've already drawn to young boys at the start of the season, but Basel looking like they could be an outside chance for title winners this season because they had a good first win on the first day of the season. We are looking to spoil their start to the season. There was Coley's shot saved by the keeper very early on. I think this season our starting 11 with the Diamond is the strongest starting 11 we've ever had. It's outside of that, the depth of the squad isn't as good. And overall, it means the squad isn't as good as it was last season, I don't think. But I still think we can make it work for us. I think it's going to be a great season. I think the way we can try to develop youth players this season, I think we're going to really do well and set ourselves up very nicely for the next couple of seasons afterwards. So it could be a little bit of a season of stagnation, but in the long run, this season is going to be vital, as Bianconi on the edge of the area can't put the cross in, unfortunately. And is that Gouveia? Is that Gouveia, who literally had last season? Has he just signed for Basel instead? Oh, it's not. It's a different Gouveia. But that would have been snake-like behaviour if that was the case. As Schneider puts a cross into the middle, collected by the keeper, which only means one thing. The highlight is going to continue. And it's Basel coming forward with so much space, so much time to pick his cross. Gouveia, luckily, isn't putting that in the back of the net. We are going to make changes early on in the second half. We want to bring on the new players early on in this second half. And actually, we might just do that now. So, Cruz is coming on for Bianconi. And then Neto is going to come on for... Who's not playing well? Ilic isn't playing well, actually. So, Neto can come on for him. We've got a chance, though, on the 56-minute mark as Schneider comes forward, out to Molnar, out to Felipe Cruz. Can he grab an assist on his first game of the season? He can't quite, unfortunately. Not yet, at least. We've still got time to go as the highlight continues and Basel looking to bring it down their right-hand side of the attacking wing. And they play it back a little bit more centrally. That is a superb pass. And Fruchtel makes an even better save. It's time to make a tactical change. Let's try out going to wingers. And this means moving Coley onto the right wing. It means putting Molnar up front. It means taking Siatunis off and giving a first-team debut to Tim Wright on that left wing. Go and make it your own, lad. Get yourself an assist or a goal as we try and go a bit more attacking towards the end of the game to try and break the deadlock. I want to try and get a win out of this. The only way we're going to get 3 points and win the league is by going attacking like this. And we've got to take these risks sometimes as Tim Wright on the ball... into Neto into Schneider, Coley back to Schneider, out to Philip Cruz, into Coley, oh, so close. Schneider back on the ball, Tim Wright, go on lad, play it back to Augusto, up towards Molnar, Tim Wright, Neto, into Alex Smith. No, he puts it out wide. That wasn't the best thing to do because here come Basel on the counter-attack. Through to Gouveia once again, and this time he still can't score. I apologise for the length of today's episodes. I mean, I usually try to stick to 20-minute episodes, but the past 3 episodes have all been at least half an hour. I presume this one's going to be at least half an hour by looking at how much time's gone by and what's still to go. So... I mean, you've been either treated or this is horrible for you because you don't like longer than 20-minute episodes. Personally, I don't like longer than 20-minute episodes. That's why I always try to cut them to 20 minutes. But sometimes, with what we plan to do, these things just happen sometimes. As Coley comes into the area, can we grab a 94th minute winner? Maybe not. So it looks like, after all the attacking play that both sides have done, it's going to end up 0. Oh, Gonzalo. Is this going to be a red card? A yellow card, luckily. Not another red card. That would have killed me, I think. And there we go. A 0-0 draw. You know what? Drawing against Young Boys and Basel to start the season off, I think that's good going, particularly when you consider we didn't have a great transfer window. So, a few days off then, and then the Kiev game. As long as we don't lose this game, we're going through into that third qualifying round, which is perfect. So, fingers crossed, it all goes well. Now, this could be an issue then. As soon as we sell Yuan, Coley now out for a month, 4 to 5 weeks. Okay. What this means is we'll probably stick with the diamond for now. It means that Patrick Hartman is going to make his debut today as well. That's a big one. As by looks of things, Nicholas Stefan going for £2 million to St. Pauli. Thank you. I mean, £7 million made in today's episode off 2 players. It's good money, all right? It's good money. If we look at the bank balance, wherever the bank balance is, £14 million in the bank now. You love to see it. As for the team, though, obviously Bianconi is... okay, so Bianconi, Smith suspended. Cruz and Neto can't play because they're not registered for this stage. And, of course, Coley's picked up an injury. So I'm going to sort this out quickly. Okay, it's sorted. Goncalves, he's come on. You've not seen Goncalves for a while. He's actually about to head out on loan to a different club, but was on loan last season at Spezia Calcio in Italy for 200. That's a good deal there. I don't think we're getting a good deal for that this season, unfortunately. Either way, he's starting at right back today. Also, Sosa's come back on for Siatunis, so we got to do that as well. Scheidegger, who you saw last season score an absolute wonder goal, he's starting in place of Alex Smith today. Patrick Hartman comes on as the pressing forward alongside Molnar. Or do they prefer to be the other way round a little bit? Not really. We'll swap them back anyway. Patrick Hartman making his debut today. Plenty of debuts for youngsters in today's episode. You love to see it for the youngsters. But we're starting off the game then against Kyiv, and let's just not lose. So kickoff is upon us, a 2-goal head start for us, obviously, because we're 2-0 up from the first leg. If we can grab one away goal, I'm confident to say that we will be qualifying for the third qualifying round. Corner then for Kyiv, just kick things off. They've hit the post from it, they've had quite a few shots on goal there. Augusto finally gets it away. But that was the first highlight of the game, and we look a little bit nervous from it, I've got to say. As Hartman, on his debut, has picked up a potential knee injury. Schneider puts the ball into the area from a free kick, and it's not really been done well, although we've somehow got the ball back somehow. I'm not quite sure how. As Ilic back to Sosa. We're in quite a few yellow cards, I've got to say as well. Quite a few yellow cards. Sosa into Boone. Boone into the middle, towards Hartman. Can't quite get there. And it looks like Kyiv coming on the counter-attack once again. Gonzalez looking to try and feed Aubameyang, but can't quite do it as Patrick Hartman gets on the ball, loses it, but maybe cleverly plays to Ilic, I don't know. But either way, we've lost possession again. It's back and forth, but Gonzalez coming forward. Fruchtel saving us once again, but not quite. And again, Fruchtel saving us. What a goalkeeper. Unfortunately, Patrick Hartman... and now he's down the floor. Maybe not quite. I think... it's a penalty. Patrick Hartman's won as a penalty, and Schneider's going to take it. Apparently, I didn't get time to change it, and I was going to change it to Patrick Hartman, but Schneider is denied from the spot as he looks to put the ball into the middle. And okay, final chance before half-time. Kyiv coming forward. Let's just not concede. Do not concede now, please. As Molnar's been put forward, can he make it 1-0 before half-time? He does. That is a way to get to half-time. 1-0 up with an away goal, 3-0 up on aggregate. We've got 45 minutes to hold on now, and I think we can do it. But we are going to take Hartman off. I don't want to risk his injury too much, because then we've got loads of strikers injured. That's not what we want. We have got Kodra, who is a regen of ours, but never got claims by anyone. So if someone's looking to claim a striker, Kodra's there. He's also looking pretty good. He's going to come on in place for Hartman. Kodra now coming forward on his own. Can he pick out a pass to someone? He does to Schneider. Scheidegger is in. And it's 3-0 all of a sudden. Yannick Scheidegger always comes up big in big European or Cup games. We haven't really played him in the league, so I can't tell you what he's like in the league. But when we had to use him in the Cup games, he has done pretty well, scoring an absolute wonder goal last season. In fact, that did actually get goal of the season for the fans' player goal. The fans' goal of the season. He won that last season with his goal that you saw 2 episodes ago. That one, not quite so much goal of the season, but it's pretty much confirmed us in the next stage of the Champions League. I just get impatient with the development. I want everyone to develop as quickly as Alex Smith has done. Now, obviously, Alex Smith is a bit of an anomaly, because obviously he's developed so quickly, like ridiculously quickly. So that's not going to happen to every single player, but I'm impatient and I want it to happen to every single player like that. As Kodra into Molnar. Kodra gets the assist. Molnar with the goal. 4-0 away from home. See you third qualifying round. See you next episode. What a brilliant way then to finish off today's episode. A 4-0 win after selling a striker that we thought, is that the right thing to do? I think it was the right thing to do. We've scored 4 goals there against a team I think that's better than us. I'm happy. So we are through into the third qualifying round, but this is where it's going to get very, very tough. Now, PSV Eindhoven. That's another level to Kyiv, I would say. And those games come around very, very quickly. So we'll do the St. Gallen game off camera, and then we'll come back for PSV, Lugano, and PSV. That's tasty. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have done, please do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And we'll see you next time for an even bigger Champions League night. PSV, have a good one. Goodbye.